Welcome everyone. In this presentation, we will focus on institutional actions to promote engagement and retention and dropout prevention in distance education during students' first year. Universities are committed to making education accessible and inclusive for all. Our goal is to ensure that no student is left behind, regardless of background or personal circumstances. By fostering equal opportunities, universities have to help every learner reach their potential. However, we face a significant challenge. Dropout rates are the greatest risk in open and distance learning, particularly in the first year and even before the first exams. As an example, this was the conclusion from the Santa Maria and Sánchez-Elvira study on the first 11 years of the European Higher Education Area degrees at UNED.
Oman Simpson, a recognized expert in students' dropout, offers us a very clear formula for student success, which was derived from Seidman's 2005 work. Success depends on three factors: choosing the right course, the early identification of vulnerable students, and providing continuous proactive motivational support from the very beginning. The combination of these three elements can make all the difference. The European Association of Distance Teaching Universities has published the results of a task force on supporting retention and student services in online and distance education, presenting reflections and best practices from leading European open and distance education universities. You can access the report through this QR code in this slide, where you will find some interesting actions. Let's say that fundamentally, it's all about training and engaging the unengaged. The essence of dropout prevention lies in preparing students effectively and making sure we reach and engage those who might otherwise remain unengaged. That is why we speak about training, preparing, and accompanying. Ultimately, what we want is students' academic and social integration, fostering a strong sense of belonging to the university community. Institutional programs that guide and support students in the early stages of their studies are essential for success in virtual learning. These initiatives help students adapt, stay motivated, and progress with confidence. Their ultimate purpose is to foster both academic and social integration, strengthen commitment and engagement, and create a real sense of belonging to the university community. In doing so, they play a vital role in preventing dropout and increasing student retention. Induction programs play a crucial role in preventing early dropout in distance education. Let's take a closer look at how we can design them successfully. This begins with pre-enrollment information and orientation, providing clear, accessible information about programs, workload, and expectations. Also, self-assessment tools to help students evaluate their readiness for online learning can be useful. Following this, a structured onboarding process is vital, including welcome sessions, introductory videos, and guided tours of the virtual learning environment and digital tools. This focus on information and guidance forms a first step of support systems for new distance education students. Student support systems for newcomers in digital environments usually cover several key areas. First, academic and administrative support. This includes early academic advising, personalized guidance during enrollment, and practical resources such as FAQs and tutorials that help students navigate administrative procedures. Second, and equally important, is peer and mentor support. This takes shape through virtual communities and mentoring programs where experienced students guide newcomers. It also creates opportunities for engagement and connection through forums and live chats, helping new students feel part of the community from the very beginning. The third key area is building students' capabilities for distance learning. This can be approached through skill development workshops, which cover practical topics like time management, self-regulation, digital literacy, and effective study strategies for online learning. Another critical element is early academic engagement. This can be achieved through introductory activities and open courses, such as MOOCs and NUOCs, that help students build confidence and level and strengthen their previous knowledge right from the start. We cannot wait for the student to disengage completely before taking action. Early and continuous monitoring is crucial. Feedback and encouragement have to be provided to foster motivation. Furthermore, monitoring and follow-up are essential for identifying at-risk students before they disengage completely. This can include early alerts for disengaged students and providing personalized messages and support interventions. Good practices, such as those at Open UK, demonstrate the power that learning analytics may have in students' follow-up for dropout prevention. Learning analytics, leveraging AI, can give support for more personalized learning. At UNED, we've developed a comprehensive institutional induction plan. Let's explain it a little bit. The UNED induction plan represents a holistic strategy to support students' successful integration and to prevent dropout. It is built on three main pillars. First, a comprehensive institutional approach, ensuring that all parts of the university work together to guide new students. Second, a processual approach that extends throughout the first year, providing continuous orientation and support, not just at the beginning. And third, an interactive approach based on networked communities where students receive support, connect with peers and mentors, and begin to feel part of a real learning community. Since 2005, this plan has aimed to reach every new student and support them from the very start, even before getting enrolled. In developing the UNED induction plan, we placed self-regulated learning at the core, as it is essential for success and well-being in online learning. The self-regulated learning cycle that we adapted to our induction plan from Zimmerman and Pintrick models has three main phases. The first is forethought and planning, which involves intrinsic motivation, setting goals, time and activity planning, and activation of prior knowledge. The second phase is performance and monitoring, where students select and implement the best strategies, seek support and resources, monitor their progress, manage emotions, and employ effective time management. Finally, the evaluation and reflection phase includes self-reflection, self-evaluation, and proposals for improvement. So, what do UNED students need for becoming self-regulated learners? Following the self-regulated learning cycle, they need to learn how to plan their learning process, perform and monitor their learning, and evaluate and reflect about their learning process.
The UNED induction plan is structured around three key phases, each with specific objectives. The first is the information phase, which ensures that potential students gain a clear understanding of UNED and what the university offers, providing guidance also through the enrollment stage. Next comes the training phase, which provides early training in the essential skills needed to succeed as a distance learner. Finally, the monitoring phase has a double purpose: to follow up on first-year students in general and to identify and intervene with those at higher risk of dropping out. In the information and orientation for planning first stage, from the very beginning, students have access to a dedicated welcome plan website, including a section called Your First Day at UNED that provides them practical guidance. They also receive enrollment guidance to help them make informed decisions about their programs and subjects, supported by a student's guides that clarify the learning paths for each subject. In addition, the plan includes student services and facts which address common questions and welcome actions in UNED local centers, offering personal support to new students. Finally, a specialized center for student support at both central and local centers location play a crucial role, providing academic and career orientation from the very start. Altogether, these resources ensure that students are not left alone when making their first decisions, but instead feel guided and supported as they begin their journey at UNED.
The training stage for students to become effective online learners includes different topics: study techniques options, helping students develop effective methods for learning independently and retaining information in a distance learning environment, effective time management to building the ability to balance academic work with personal and professional responsibilities, and creating effective study schedules, virtual tools so they become confident using the digital platforms and resources provided by the university. And finally, leveling previous knowledge to make sure students start their programs with the right foundation. These training actions are supported by a variety of online courses, open courses such as MOOCs and NOOCs, introductory zero-level courses for leveling, and even courses with ECTS credits that can be taken on-site or online. Altogether, these initiatives prepare students not only to survive but to thrive in the online learning environment. The UNED virtual induction communities represent an institutional approach to support new students. Let's discuss some of their main features. Each faculty school has its own undergraduate online community on the UNED platform, and there are also one for each of the rest of the official programs. All new students are automatically registered in his or her induction community. These communities begin in early September or February, 1 month before the semesters start. They provide follow-up throughout the first year. Each community offers support from a counselor, a mentor, and technicians, along with a peer forum. For example, at present, the induction process is structured in 3 main stages at the online community. Stage 1 is the starter kit. Here, students receive interactive content and activities that help them learn how to navigate their new environment and get the essential tools to begin their journey with confidence. Stage 2 is called deepening. At this stage, students delve into the content, aiming to gain a deeper understanding of the university and take greater control of their time and study activities, developing the skills needed to manage their workload effectively and independently. Stage 3 is about achieving a credit. Students can continue their training by completing 6 challenges, which include 10 online activities that provide the opportunity to earn their first ECTs. This stage involves voluntary participation and is supported by multimedia materials and tutor guidance, making it a flexible yet structured way to strengthen skills and motivation from the start. A good example of the adaptation of the UNED induction virtual communities to the specificities of each faculty or school is the one launched by the Industrial Engineering School. They developed a specific initiative called Starting Machines on Telegram for students and mentors. This interactive space is open at the pre-enrollment stage. This is a great initiative, considering that their dropout rate is higher due to the high levels of difficulty in engineering studies. At UNED, we continually explore new advanced technologies to enhance student support. This is a must for any digital education institution. One of the key directions we are moving toward is offering more personalized information and guidance, tailored to each student's personal characteristics. The central question we ask is, what does each student need to know or need to do based on their own interests, their previous training, and their individual profile? By addressing this question, we can provide targeted support that goes beyond generic advice, making guidance more relevant, timely, and effective for every learner. Let's see an example. IO was a pre-generative AI chatbot developed by researchers from the UNED Faculty of Psychology that was used at this faculty as an innovation project designed for the online course of the final degree work, TFG in Spanish. IO supported students with any administrative or informational doubts they may have had about their TFG requirements. At present, generative AI is not just part of the future, it is already starting to act as our co-pilot in student support. At UNED, we have begun testing these tools, and their role will only grow stronger in the years to come. With these tools, we will be able to personalize information and guidance, adapting it to what each student needs to know or do based on their interests, prior training, and personal characteristics. At the same time, AI can also act as a co-pilot in administrative processes, tutoring, and mentoring support, complementing the human guidance that remains at the heart of our mission. Understanding student dropouts remains a central question for our ongoing efforts. Here is the link to some outcomes I have been involved with as chair of the Student Support Field of Expertise within the EED2 Empower project. They address issues related to student support, retention, and dropout prevention in distance higher education institutions that may be of interest to you on this relevant topic.
I thank you very much for your attention.